Hi guys!
Hey guys!
We finally made it in Kuching, or in the capital of Sarawak.
Welcome to Kuching, the capital of Sarawak, Malaysia, a city of cats, land of ancient headhunters, mysterious rainforests, and even crocodile farms. Believe it or not, this was once the only Asian land ruled by a European family, White Rajahs. After traveling across Malaysia for years, it's finally our turn to explore the city. I'll take you through the Kuching incredible history, must-try places to eat, key travel tips when arriving, a quick city tour, and even a weekend getaway idea so you won't want to miss it. Or in a fun fact, Kuching literally means a cat in Malay, and yes, there are a lot of cats in the city. If you enjoy travel stories with depth, culture, and hidden gems, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Over 90% of viewers watch us without subscribing, so help us to make more videos like that. Let's head out to Kuching.
Kuching!
We're going to Kuching with my baby.
First time. So the state of Sarawak is located on the island of Borneo. The flight from Kuala Lumpur takes around 3 hours. But since we're in Sabah already, a neighboring state, our flight was only 1 hour and cost $40. By the way, it turned out that my husband and another man were given exact same seat with identical boarding passes. This was the first time something like that happened to us in all our years of traveling. The flight attendants gave us new seats. We chose Firefly Airlines, which became a real discovery of 2024 because it's budget-friendly, offers new aircrafts, and provides free snacks like cookies, nuts, and water. You'd think that since the states of Sabah and Sarawak are on the same island, the landscape and nature would be more or less the same, but that's not the case. As we approached Kuching, the land below was covered in dense, impassable jungle, crisscrossed by winding brown rivers that clearly looked like crocodile territory. And here are some tips upon arrival in Kuching and Sarawak in general. Although Sabah and Sarawak are parts of Malaysia, they have their own immigration rules. In fact, the rules in Sabah are different from those in Sarawak. Upon entering Sarawak, you'll go through passport control, where you'll receive a new entry stamp. Typically, this is valid for 30 days. The import of drones is regulated. If you want to film, make sure to request a permission in advance. So we just landed in Kuching. It's very humid. This is first, okay, hot and humid. The airport was a bit empty. I didn't quite get it. I was thinking that maybe we will have like more international flights. But the part that surprised me, first we needed return tickets from Kuching. Even though we traveled from Sabah, still we needed like return tickets. And what is interesting, stamp of Sarawak is looking exactly like the stamp from Peninsula of Malaysia. Look, you see, we have exactly same stamps, and it says that we're permitted to stay in Sarawak, Malaysia for 30 days. So even though the first stamp of Malaysia also says 30 days, it doesn't mean you have 60 days in total. You still need to come back to Peninsula and leave the country before 30 days. Interesting system, unique, I would say. Actually, we're very excited to explore more because all the people tell about Sarawak and how much it's amazing, and Kuching specifically, the capital. So let's discover. The Grab taxi arrived at the airport in just a few minutes, and we headed straight to the hotel. The city looked very clean, well organized, and modern. However, the pace of the city is somewhat slow. A huge number of restaurants and other establishments close around 10 or 11 p.m. And for now, we'll check into the hotel. Is he good? Yeah. No, we're good today. Wow, mashallah. Wow, we were. So on the next day, we decided to dive into the history of Sarawak by visiting a museum. To begin with, it's worth noting that Sarawak has a total of 12 significant museums, which you can also see on this map. Specifically, the city of Kuching offers 5 museums. The first one is Borneo Cultural Museum, the largest of them all, featuring the most extensive historical collections. The second one is Sarawak Museum, the first museum in Borneo, opened in 1881 by the White Rajah, James Brooke. The third one is Islamic Heritage Museum, built in 1930 and formerly known as Melayu Sarawak, and it was home to 7 thematic galleries. It still is. The fourth one is Chinese History Museum. Built in 1912, it was originally used as court by the local Chinese community until 1921. And the fifth one is Natural History Museum. Built in 1908, and it was once known as Second Ladies Club, and now it showcases a large collection of Borneo mammals, reptiles, and shellfish. And now it's time to get to the biggest and the most innovative museum from the list. Hey guys, so we're going right now to Borneo Cultural Museum. It's the biggest development project in the history of Sarawak Museum since it was established in 1981. It incorporates the elements of green building design for its interior, making it the first museum in Malaysia to be certified as the green building under the Green Building Index (GBI). Basically, you need around 2 to 3 hours to visit the whole complex of the museum, but we're gonna try to make it in 45 minutes. I know it's not realistic, but unfortunately we don't have time, so let's go with us. The museum operates from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. till 4:45 p.m. and the register will be closed at 4 p.m. As for the price, it depends on various factors, on your age, nationality, physical condition. As foreigners, we paid 50 ringgit for each, so 100 ringgit for a couple, and please note that the payment must be done in cash or e-wallet. The 5-story building consists of permanent exhibitions, children's gallery, temporary exhibition, function room, auditorium, restaurants, and a souvenir shop. Since the level 2 was the children's gallery, we just skipped that and went directly to level 3, which is also called as Keharmonian Alam dan Manusia, or translated as harmony between nature and humanity. This actually was one of the most interesting floors and also one of the biggest galleries in the museum, and it shows how native people of Sarawak live together with nature. The whole gallery is divided into 3 main zones. The first one is coastal zone. This area shows the life of people who live by the sea. You'll see traditional fishing tools, simple coastal houses, and learn how these communities live, work, and depend on the ocean. The second one is rainforest zone. This part is all about the jungle. It explains how people live in the rainforest, showing tools they use for hunting, plants used for medicine, and also stories about their spiritual beliefs. By the way, this is a log used for people who passed away. And the third one is the highland zone, so you'll discover how mountain communities live together.
Listen, the quality of museum is crazy, it's top-notch, and Sarawak culture is so rich. We were supposed to spend here like 2 or 3 hours, as the nice woman downstairs recommended to us, but unfortunately we have no time. Guys, the level, how it smells inside, the temperature, how exhibition is presented, it's wow.
And also the exhibition is full of interactive displays.
Okay, it says we're listening to a funeral song.
Also, we found something very special, interactive story panels. They look like big wooden shields, and also when you slide them, they come to life with light, sounds, and animations. But most importantly, it teaches you legends. The first one is Legend of Princess Santubong. This one is the most famous legend in Sarawak. It tells the story of 2 princesses, Santubong and Sinjinjang, who started fighting and were eventually turned into mountains. The story explains how the Mount Santubong was formed, and also it teaches a lesson about peace and humanity. There are also legends that tell you about spirits of the forest, because local people believe that these spirits live in trees, rivers, and mountains. Of course, the story about the great hunter, another tale about the brave hunter who fights a mystical beast to save his village, and of course the story on how people came to be. Some stories explain where the native group of Sarawak came from, by some live, by the sea, and also by the highland, and other deep in the forest. There is also a traditional hut on this floor, and inside, if you look up, you will see hanging hats near the roof. Don't worry, they're not real, it's a head hunting display, showing how some native groups like Dayaks used to collect enemies' head. The same practice was in Sabah, by the way. It was the part of their spiritual beliefs and a way to protect the village. Another beautiful part of this floor is the traditional clothing worn by Sarawak's native groups. These outfits aren't just clothes, they're full of meaning. Some of them they're for everyday, others for special rituals, festivals, or even battles. All the materials are from nature, like tree barks, shells, and also animal teeth. Each piece tells a story about the person, the tribe, and their place in the world. The next floor we visited was called Peredaran Masa, which means passage of time. This floor is all about the history of Borneo, from ancient times to modern days. You'll see archaeological finds like old tools, pottery, and even burial jars. There are also replicas of ancient caves where early people once lived. One of the best parts, there is a display of the old human remains found in Southeast Asia, discovered in Sarawak's Dayak caves, over 40,000 years old. And the last area we've seen was called Bermula dari Sini, which means it begins here. The gallery focuses on traditional craft, design, and also material culture. Basically the beautiful things people in Sarawak made and used in everyday life. You'll see also woman bags, old vases, and even rare ceremonial Saka dresses, worn by important figures during special occasions. Each piece is full of details and meaning. There is also a section where you can see how Sarawakians weave their various items from straw, and they create scarves with special designs and patterns known as Saka. These intricate designs are passed down through generations and represent each community's unique culture. It's amazing to watch how traditional crafts are still practiced with such skill and care.
I'm gonna share with you a weird insight that I caught right now. After visiting hundreds of museums, right, dozens of countries, and studying the history, I see that natives of all the countries around the world, they have something in common. Example, I see right now in Sarawakian museum, they're working with straw a lot, same as my culture. And I see patterns they're using in their traditional attire, traditional clothes is also similar. Same as I discovered when I came to North Africa. Berbers are using exactly almost the same ornaments as we're using in our culture. So, and you see also similar ornaments right here in Sarawak.
At the end of the Bermula Dari Sini floor, you will see a stunning display of golden crowns and luxurious jewelry. These beautiful traditional dresses complete the intricate gold crowns, necklaces, and also beaded accessories were worn by high-status women for special ceremonies and celebrations. And the last section we visited was called Seni Ukiran Spiritual. It features shamanic masks along with spiritual carvings and ritual music, giving a glimpse into the sacred traditions and beliefs of native people of Borneo.
Okay, what I learned today is that this gift they gave me in Indonesia, it's also same culture as Sarawak.
Okay, so we actually made it in just 45 minutes. We were running, but we did the main floors and were able to witness the main exhibitions. So, guys, honestly, it's a gem. I'm not sure why no one talks about it, and you should come here in case you visit Kuching, Sarawak. Actually, you must come to Kuching, Sarawak to visit this museum.
And after hours walking in the museum, you can get some rest and get some cup of tea or coffee in the nice restaurant located on the first floor of the museum. As you see, you can also buy some nice Sarawakian bags here.
Ice matcha latte.
After visiting the Borneo Museum and learning about the native cultures of this land, walking through the city feels very surprising. Suddenly you're surrounded by colonial buildings, tall, white, and British style. So where did it come from? Well, believe it or not, a single British family ruled over this land for more than 100 years. But how did it happen? Let me break it down for you, step by step. So everything started from a man named James Brooke. He was born in India in 1803, where his father worked for the British East India Company. His childhood was shaped by Indian culture, the spices, the colors, the noise. But at the age of 12, he was sent to England for school, and it felt very exile. He didn't fit in at all. The grey skies, the quiet streets, the cold manners, everything felt foreign. He missed the life he knew in India. Even as a British citizen, Brooke felt as an outsider in his own society. Later, he joined the army, fought in the First Anglo-Burmese War, and was badly wounded. That ended his military career. But when his father died, he inherited a lot of money, enough to buy a small ship, the Royalist. With no clear plan, he sailed east looking for meaning, adventure, maybe even a new identity. So, in 1839, James Brooke arrived to Borneo, where the Sultan of Brunei was losing control over Sarawak due to violent uprising. The region was considered even dangerous, if we can say that. A lot of native people didn't like the rule of Sultan. And since native tribes, as Dayaks for example, were headhunters at that time, Sultan felt not safe and he accepted the offer of James Brooke to help with protests. Yet somehow, with just a small crew and no official support, Brooke managed to help crush the fire. Whether by diplomacy, luck, or boldness, he earned the Sultan's trust, and in 1841 he was granted rule over Sarawak. Just like that, a former soldier became the White Rajah of Jungle Kingdom, and Brooke started to build his kingdom. First he chose the capital, Kuching, then he banned headhunting, piracy, introduced new laws, and tried to govern fairly. He respected native customs to a degree and built alliances with local tribe leaders, but still the situation was not perfect. After all, a white man has stepped onto native land where no one had invited him. But through a mix of diplomacy, military force, and strategic moves, Sarawak eventually reached a level of stability. And when James died, the power passed to his nephew since he had no children of his own. So the second White Rajah, Charles Brooke, took over in 1868. He was less romantic and more pragmatic, a military man who built roads, schools, a small army, and more centralized administration. Under Charles, Sarawak expanded and modernized. He created government departments, encouraged education, and built hospitals. In 1917, Charles' son, Vyner Brooke, became the third and the final White Rajah. He was more cosmopolitan. He liked luxury, music, and art. At first, he introduced reforms in institution, more rights for native Sarawakians, and some modern institutions. But World War II changed everything. When the Japanese invaded Borneo, Vyner fled to Australia. After the war, he returned, but he did not reclaim the power. In 1946, he officially handed Sarawak over the British Crown, ending more than a century of Brooke rule. So after the handover, Sarawak became a British colony for a short time, and then in 1963, it joined the newly formed Federation of Malaysia, becoming one of the key states of the island of Borneo. And since we learned a little bit about history of Kuching, I need to walk you through the city. The first place you need to see is the old courthouse. It was built in 1874 by Charles Brooke. Brooke, the second White Rajah of Sarawak, and it wasn't just a courthouse but also Rajah's own office. The building was made from Balian wood, also known as ironwood, one of the toughest woods in the world. By the way guys, I don't know if you know, but in Sabah and Sarawak, native tribes also use this wood to build their houses. Thanks to that, it's still standing strong after more than 150 years. And speaking of other interesting facts, there's also a local legend about the secret tunnel connecting this old court to Astana, the Rajah's palace across the river. Nobody knows if it's real, but it adds a bit of mystery. And of course, with a past like that, some say the place isn't completely empty at night. Locals talk the ghosts are living here, especially around the old courtrooms. Do you remember a secret tunnel I've mentioned a few minutes ago that connects the old courthouse to the Astana palace? Where here it is. This is Astana, a royal palace in Kuching built in 1870 as the wedding gift from the White Rajah, Vyner Charles Brooke, to his wife. I was honestly surprised by its name because Astana, which is also happened to be a capital of Kazakhstan. But interestingly, Astana also means palace in Arabic and Malay. This royal residence with a perfect view of the river and Sarawak State Parliament is closed to public. You can look, but you cannot go in. And this is another building that is easy to spot and is located directly across the Astana. Originally built in 1879 as a prison, it quickly became a watchtower with cannons to protect Kuching from the river, a unique case of the building changing its purpose within just a few years. Oh, and did you see the gun ports of the tower? They were never actually used. They were just a decoration to intimidate potential enemies and show how much the city is powerful. Today, this square tower is just a historical landmark and a tourist attraction, housing a restaurant and exhibitions inside. And just in a few minutes walk from the square tower and old courthouse, you can see the general post office. Even though it looks old, it's not that old. It was built in 1931 under the order of Charles Vyner Brooke and is designed by a Singaporean firm. Its neoclassical style features 12 columns, each about 9 meters tall. It's the only building in Sarawak with this architecture, and right now this building works as telegraph office and also a branch of the bank. So all the buildings I just show you can be easily found along the Kuching waterfront. There are many more historical sites from the British era, but for now I'd like to show you the truly beautiful waterfront itself and the Kuching's main tourist attraction, the State Assembly Building. The first impression is very clean.
True.
Like you walked on the streets, it's very clean, and I feel the city is new or like renovated. Because you see all the buildings, they're like tight, beautiful, fresh, painted.
They have good hotels.
Good hotels, yes, plenty of like choice for hotels and stuff.
People are nice.
Yeah, they like sport.
Yeah, they like sport. They're welcoming.
Yeah.
The promenade is really beautiful.
They're
near
all
the river.
running here.
Yeah. If you like crocodiles, it's the right place.
Sarawak, I mean Kuching mainly speaking, because we haven't seen the rest of the Sarawak. You can see it's crossed by rivers.
Many.
Yeah, many rivers. It's like snakes. They're everywhere. We have crocodiles. We have a lot of wild animals here. But of course, in order to see them, you must leave Kuching. You must travel Sarawak.
Oh, actually, my favorite place is Borneo Museum.
Yeah.
It's a masterpiece.
We learned so much.
You must see it. You must travel.
Yeah.
We did it in 45 minutes, but I advise you to do it in 3 or 4 hours. Allah Akbar. I think it's you must come here. You must see these other parts of Malaysia because you're gonna discover another culture, something different. I feel that we need more time. Next time we're gonna come, we're gonna travel more Sarawak.
Yeah.
Because Kuching is just a small city in Sarawak. Sarawak is a really big state.
Yeah.
The food is tasty.
Food is good. Yeah.
It's good. You like it too. So message for all Malaysians: come to discover your country.
Come to Borneo, guys. Come to Borneo. Discover Borneo.
Is rich.
And the culture is not similar to anything. It's something else. So after a short walk on the waterfront and exploring the waterfront line, you will notice a stunning bridge that stretches from the waterfront to the State Assembly Building. And you absolutely have to walk up there, especially at sunset. Why? Let me show you. Take a look.
مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد
And after Maghrib Adhan, I think it's the perfect time to talk about the food and the most popular dinner spot among both locals and tourists, Top Spot. It's a massive food court known for its delicious freshly caught seafood, sourced right from the nearby waters. The location is easy to find. It's actually on the rooftop of the building, or more precisely, one of its highest floors. This food court operates primarily in the evening. Top Spot comes alive right after sunset. The vibrant atmosphere combined with the city lights creates a memorable dining experience. The prices vary. For example, clams go for 11 ringgit, for crabs for around 13 ringgit, for lobster 140 ringgit per kilogram. Vegetables and sides go for around 10-12 ringgit, so the prices are acceptable. And here's what we got. We got the oyster pancake, also called Kuching pancake, fried sotong or squid, shrimps, fried rice, fish. The whole meal went for around 150 ringgit.
This is the fish. There we go. It's really good with lemon. Here in Sarawak, they don't cook it the same way as in Peninsula, as in Sabah, because they add some green vegetables over here. Maybe it's not sure where it can be, but the taste is totally different. It's more, I don't know, more full, if I can say that. It tastes so good.
The food in Sarawak is totally different. I don't see any similarity with the Peninsula or Sabah.
It's wow. Butter squid is how it looks like. Caramelized, buttery, sweet. It's amazing. It's called Sarawak pancake. Look, just to explain to you the size. So basically it's like a big pancake or sort of roti, seems similar, with oysters. And inside we have some sauce. So basically I think we can take like a small piece of this big pancake and eat it with sauce. We saw a lot of people order it on the table and it says specific Kuching pancake. So let's try. Oh, it's crunchy. Okay. So
tasty. This one is good.
Okay, it's salty. It's salty, crunchy. I'm not sure what it reminds me exactly.
Really nice,
Something else.
And if you're searching for authentic Sarawakian cuisine, you definitely need to visit Lepau. It's a special restaurant. It offers dishes from Dayak and Orang Ulu communities. It was established in 2014, and the restaurant name, Lepau, means hut in the Kayan language, reflecting its traditional ambience. We went there with our friends who live in Kuching for quite a while, and they taught us a couple of traditional dishes.
Barrio is the best for rice.
Okay.
Can I take one? Okay. Thank you.
So this is beef, right?
Yes.
Okay, and this one is what? Chicken? Chicken soup. Okay, and this one? No, it's rice. Barrio rice. Barrio, the best.
This one is chicken, not chicken soup. This is chicken inside the bamboo.
This one. I see.
This one you can put like on the rice, something like that.
Okay.
Only in Sarawak.
Only
in Sarawak. You will never find it
Okay.
anywhere.
What
Only
is this?
Sarawak. This one is manichai. It's like a Sarawakian veggie mixing with egg and soya sauce and garlic.
It's also toxic if you eat it raw. It's toxic, yeah. Like
So we die? What's going on?
No, this one is the best.
No, if it's raw, it's raw.
So we've tried a local food court and experienced an authentic Sarawakian cuisine, and now it's time for a lovely lunch at a historical landmark. This is a restaurant called 1886, located inside the Round Tower, which was constructed in 1886 during the era of White Rajahs. Originally, the tower housed as dispensary that served the local community, providing medicines, conducting basic checkups for health, offering first aid, and occasionally treating patients for short periods. It was an important part of Kuching's early colonial healthcare system. Later, the building was transformed into a restaurant, quite a special one. It's worth wandering through the narrow hallways of this 19th century structure, exploring its hidden corners, walking up the old staircases, and admiring the historical photos on the walls. And yes, the food was also pretty good too. Another fascinating location in Kuching, Sarawak is the Carpenter Street. It's the heart of Kuching's Chinese heritage. Once home to Chinese carpenters and craftsmen, hence the name, the street has been alive since the 19th century when Hakka and Hokkien settlers opened shops, tea houses, medicine halls, and also workshops. Today, it still preserves the historical charm. Old shop houses, hanging lanterns, and also temples like Tua Pek Kong, one of the oldest in Kuching. Here you can try local dishes like kolomi, sip traditional tea with soft buns, or simply wander through antique shops where every corner tells a story.
So right now we're passing Chinese street and I can tell it's very authentic. Even maybe more interesting than Penang in some parts, and even Ipoh, and even Malacca in some parts. But it's beautiful.
As I mentioned before, each corner of the Chinese street tells a story. For example, Hong Sang Si Temple, a temple with a legend. This temple was built around mid-1800 by Chinese immigrants in Kuching. It's dedicated to a child deity named Kong Tek Chon Ung, who is believed to protect children and families. So here's the legend. A long time ago, when Kuching caught fire, people saw a small boy in red standing on the temple roof. He waved his hands and the fire stopped. Locals believe that this was the spirit of child God saving the town. Since then, people have come here to pray for safety, health, and protection, especially for children. Today, this temple is a peaceful spot in the city, filled with history and feeling that something magical once happened here. Just in a few minutes walk from the Chinese street, you can find the Kuching main Bazaar. It sits right across the Sarawak River near the famous waterfront. This is one of the city's oldest trading spots, active since the 19th century. Here you can find traditional Dayak crafts like carved masks, charms, and woven baskets, antiques that they might belong in the museum or something, and of course souvenirs, t-shirts, spices, tea, wooden and battered items. Each shop feels like a small time capsule, and many sellers love to share their stories behind their goods. You definitely need to come here. And lastly, I would like to show you two main mosques in Kuching, the old one and the new one. The old one, just in front of you, is Masjid India, located near the waterfront. This is one of the oldest mosques in Sarawak, built in 1830 by Indian Muslim traders. Back then, it was the heart of Kuching's small but growing Muslim community. And the second one is the state mosque, the Masjid Jamek Negeri Sarawak, built in 1990s, and is the main state mosque of Sarawak. Its grand architecture with golden domes stand out along the river. And this is a small gift that I got from one of the sisters in the mosque where we went for salat. This is Ayat al-Kitab. And as I promised, finally, we're going to a beautiful weekend destination near Kuching. We're heading to Damai Beach Resort, a perfect spot to spend the weekend and enjoy a break from the city. But before we arrive, we will pass by a very special place, Mount Santubong, a mountain full of mystery and local legend. Let me tell you a story. Long time ago, when Borneo was one united land, two sisters, Putri Santubong and Putri Sejinjang, were sent from the heaven to bring peace between two rival kingdoms. But instead of peace, they both fell in love with the same man. Jealousy grew between them. As a result, they got into fight. In the fight, one struck the other with a waving tool, and the other one responded with a stick. The man they loved was killed in chaos. As punishment, the gods transferred Santubong into a mountain and her sister in the island, Sejijang Island. Locals say that the shape of Mount Santubong still looks like a woman laying down, the sleeping princess. Some also believe that the spirits still guard the mountain. If a man hikes it and he doesn't smell the sweet scent of flowers near the top, it's a bad sign. And others say that before entering the forest trails, you should greet the spirits out of respect so they don't follow or disturb you. So today, as you see, we're not just taking a trip to the beach, we're traveling through the beauty, myth, and the magic of Borneo's ancient past.
Look, honestly, this resort is wow. It's Damai Beach Resort. I know you can stay here over the weekend, but even to come like for beach to see, it's so beautiful. My friend, she lives in Sarawak. She said like it's one of the most beautiful places here in Sarawak.
I hope you enjoyed today's video and maybe learned something new about Sarawak's legends and hidden places. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so we don't miss each other and you don't miss the new adventure. If you've been to Damai Beach, climbed Mount Santubong, or know other cool spots around Kuching, drop your tips in the comments. Let's build the ultimate Sarawak checklist together.